The time, ladies and gentlemen, has come. Pre-season is officially done and dusted, and it's time for Game Week 1 team selection. Yes, that's right. My team selection video entails, and I am not like the cartel. I'm not pushing you the FPL review draft. I'm not pushing you the FPL Solio draft. This is the D Units team. I put hours into this. And if you want to, you can follow my journey this season. You can get your name shouted out for the top scoring team this week. In every single team week selection video, I'll be announcing the top scorer in the mini league, and I'll be giving you an update on my rank. Last season, I finished top 5K. Where will I finish this year? Hopefully, I can better that again. That means you need to smash that subscribe button to stay up to date. Smash a like as well. Leave me a comment with your final drafts, and let's get into it. So before we jump into my final plugs, which is back again this year, I want to take you back to a draft I put together yesterday after I looked at the top 24 players I believe in the game. Now, all of them were in that video except Strand Larsen. And to be honest with you, I really wanted to get Van Linson into my own team, but I quite like a lot of the other options in here, including spending up on the three defenders or the three more premium defensive assets in Sells, Milinkovic and Collins. I personally think, and I've always played with a strong bench. Last year I benched so many points, but that's fine. There are always weeks where your players do not play, or they get injured, or they miss because of European rotations, etc., etc. I like to be prepared for those games. When Liverpool and Everton got postponed, guess what? I had a good bench. I was covered. I didn't have a blanking player in my team. I didn't have to make any transfers because my bench was good. And that's part of my strategy. Honestly, strong benches is where to go. It means that on any given game week, I can play my bench boost. I don't have to sit there and plan for it because I'm already ready for it because my bench is looking good. Now, as I said before, I have been no Salah the entire preseason. He has not been in my team one single time because I think he's overpriced. I'm not saying he's a bad asset. I just think that for £14.5 million, you can get significantly more. As I've made the case many times, you can get Bruno plus Cole Palmer, or you can have Salah plus Baliba. Every single week, I'm telling you who I expect to score more points out of that combo. One of that combo, I have to bench one of them probably every week. In my combo that I've got, in my team that we're about to find out, I don't have to do that. So keep that in mind when you're putting together those final drafts. Just because a player's 50% owned doesn't mean that you have to own him. Honestly, does not mean that at all. It means you can take him on. You can literally take on any player this year and get away with it, I reckon. With the way they've put the chips in, the extra chips, it's made it so much easier to start poorly and then just catch straight back up. So on to my final plugs for Game Week 1, and this is where it comes into. Look, at the end of the day, how many premiums are you going with? And I think the premiums are anyone really priced over 9 million above, because you actually have to factor in how you are going to get them into your team and what sacrifices you're going to make with each one. Now, if you go for the real big dogs, such as Salah and Haaland, that makes your drafts significantly harder to put together. Like, honestly, it makes them so much harder to put together. I've sat there, I've played the one, out of the two, Haaland's the one I'm most concerned about. But because of the fact that City, I think, have not had that much of a preseason and they were a little bit iffy, and Rodri's still going to be out until probably mid-September, I'm willing to take it on for the first few weeks and just see how it goes. Now, I am obviously eyeing up when Man City have Burnley and having Haaland that week. Now, how I do it, I'm not sure. But that is the first week where I sit there and go, oh, I really want him, because that is a fixture at home and I think he's going to pop, and he's probably the best captain that week by a mile. The next thing you need to think about is how many weeks in advance should you play. Now, I think with all the extra chips they've given you at the first part of the season, and then the 5 free transfers for AFCON, looking any further than 6 weeks in advance at any given time makes not much sense to me. That is my personal opinion. That's my personal belief. I'm not looking any further than that. I have looked at when I wildcard, and that is going to be in Game Week 12, post the last international break, the week before every other man and his dog does it, because I just think I can get a little bit of a heads up. I just think, I'll just be interested to see. That is my plan at the moment, but I think planning too far in advance doesn't make sense. If my team needs it beforehand, if it's not going well, I'm not opposed to bringing it forward earlier. I just think that for this moment, that's where I'm going to be going. Now, who do you captain in game week 1? Now, that is the question. If you have Salah, you're probably captaining Salah. If you've got Haaland and you haven't got Salah, you're probably captaining Haaland. If you haven't got either, like me, you need to actually put some thought into it. And I am going to talk you through my thought process in regards to that. I'm not completely sold on who is going to be captain, but I'll give you a hint. It might be the person that was on the thumbnail. Then, which teams will start hot and which will start cold? Now, that is the question. You can read too much into preseason form. I've seen teams, I think Liverpool a few years ago, didn't win any games in preseason, then won the first 5 or 6 of the season. Wolves haven't won a game in preseason. Are they going to carry that into the actual season proper? I'm not sure. Everton also had really middling results, a bit like Bournemouth in the preseason. Will that carry into the season? That is the question. That's what I'm trying to crystal ball. To me, at the end of the day, you can't read too much into form during preseason. That has always been the tried and trusted formula. Quite often it doesn't work well. Now, is it completely silly to avoid Haaland and Salah? Now, some people, I'm 100% sure in the comments are going to say, you're an idiot, you should have put in Salah, why are you taking him on, etc., etc. It's only silly if you think it's silly. You're your own people at the end of the day. I'm never going to tell you to go against Salah. I'm never going to tell you to go against Haaland. I'm telling you what I'm doing because I believe in it. If you don't believe in it, 100% don't do it. You'll regret it. You'll honestly regret it. So if that's what you're worried about, just do that. Now, if they fire early, I might bring Haaland in. I'll be honest. I might bring Haaland in if he fires early, if I don't end up with him by the deadline. Salah, I've got no interest. The only week I want Salah between now and when I'm wildcarding is game week 4. And I've already looked at free hitting in game week 4, which is why I quite like playing free hit 4 with the team that I've put together. And also, that's at the moment, I would like to save it for later on between game weeks 12 and 19 to use a free hit then. But I am open to game week 4 because of the fact that my team is not set up well for game week 4. And that's the only week where it sort of looks a bit dud. Again, triple captain, anywhere between 12 and 19. There's a lot of teams that are playing the big assets that are promoted during that course of 7 game weeks. That's when I think you should play it. For me, that's also when I'm going to be playing my bench boost. There's just too many things to worry about in game week 1 without playing a chip and seeing it go horribly wrong. So for that reason, bench boost isn't on. I know a lot of people will do that. I'll cover a best bench boost draft in my late mail tomorrow for anyone that is. And then, remember, have fun. That is what the game is about at the end of the day. If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be playing it because it's not meant to give you stress. I don't get stressed in this. I find it entertainment. I like to provide good content, relevant content with the jokes, with the funny side, with me, my personality. And that's why I think that my content, hopefully you're finding it pretty good and you're liking it. But that's what I'm talking about. And at the end of the day, if you don't know a decision and you're 50-50, either don't make a decision or get your card or get a coin or something and flip it. And whatever it says, do it. That's the best way. That's the best advice I can give. And let's start and look at my game week 1 team selection. So I have gone off the 4.5 million rotating goalkeepers because of the fact I said the first 6 weeks and, as I said, free hit 4, which is when Brentford play Arsenal. Sorry, not Brentford. Nottingham Forest play Arsenal. That's who sells players in game week 1. That is their hardest fixture of the first 6 game weeks by country mile. And I can dodge that. I think of the other 6 games, Forest, if I'm being generous, could get 4 out of 6 clean sheets. I expect them to get at least 50% clean sheets in those first 6 games. The fixtures are incredible. Dubravka just comes in because he's a 4 million goalkeeper, and I intend on playing cells every week for the first 6. Other than when potentially I might free hit in 4. And if I don't free hit in 4, I'm probably just going to play him anyway because Forest defense is really that good. Dubravka, he's just making up the numbers. He's a 4 million goalkeeper. Do I expect him to play any given week? The answer is no, but that's what it is. I'm quite happy. I just think that the Forest boys are going to start well. Just based on their preseason, the fact they haven't been conceding goals, it makes no sense to take that on. So onto the defence, and this is where it does get a little bit interesting because I'll be honest, I really want Collins in my draft or in my game week 1 final squad because he will start instead of De Kuiper. That is the plan. I'm not sure where I'm going to find the 0.5. We'll talk about it at the end when I get through the rest of my team. But I'm going to talk through the options and why I've done it. Now, Gehi has just come in today, and I really probably need to get rid of him because I can never pronounce his name correctly. But he's in there because there is a strong likelihood that he goes to Liverpool. And if he goes to Liverpool, He's going to be the cheapest starting defender for them by a country mile. 4.5 million? Are you kidding me? Playing for Liverpool defence? It's a no-brainer, right? Absolute no-brainer. He's in there for the clean sheets. His actual underlying defensive contributions points is nothing to write home about. You're better off going for some of the other Palace defenders. But if he moves to Liverpool, as is being rumoured, apparently the talks are progressing today, they were yesterday, that could be really good. Now, Dorgu's in there as my wild card for Man United. I think that, Game Week 1, I'm not going to be playing him, but Game Week 2 and 3, he looks really good and can rotate into the team. And that's what I'm talking about. The only one here that I'll play every single game week at the moment is Milinkovic. Milinkovic will be there. He's a defensive contribution monster. He's got the set-piece threat with his header. He's just great. He's the best defender in the game for me by a country mile. I'm surprised that he's actually going down in ownership and Murillo and Williams are going up. This dude is the beast. Of all the Nottingham Forest defenders, goalkeepers, he's the one you want in your team as far as I'm concerned. Then we've got the Kuiper. He scored a goal in the last preseason game for Brighton. I'm hoping that he can deliver some of the underlying stats in that Brighton team. You can see I love the left-hand side defenders because I've got 3 of them in my final draft. The Kuiper looks really good. That Fulham home game as well. I don't think Fulham are going to be overly... They haven't really made any signings, so I'm expecting hopefully Brighton to get off to a good start here. De Kuiper, it'd be nice if he gets some sort of attacking returns. He's not in there for the defensive contributions. I think if you're targeting the 4.5 million guys... I'm all about the attacking upside. Milinkovic is there for the DC points. Guéhi, if he goes to Liverpool, potentially as well. The rest, I'm all about how many assists, how many goals, how many 15-pointers can you get me this season? That's what I'm looking at. The real high ceiling, not my, you got me 4 points. Whoop-de-doo. Who cares? I'm going to count those clearances like they're going out of business. And then tackles. That was a tackle. I'm telling you, that was a tackle. And then we got Juve, who has looked unbelievably good. Now, I did weigh up having Wan-Bissaka. I've even weighed up having Wan-Bissaka and Juve in my team. I just don't think West Ham at the moment, I can't safely say they're going to keep a lot of clean sheets. So for that reason, I'm either getting Wan-Bissaka because I believe in the defensive contributions, or I get Juve because I believe in the attacking contributions. And I think that Juve outscores Aaron Wan-Bissaka this year. That's just my personal opinion. Whether I'm right or wrong, we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, as I said, I really want to get Collins in there. In reality, it's probably for Guéhi, and then I'd be playing him and Milinkovic every week, the 2 defensive contribution monsters, my 2 DC superheroes. That's the plan. I just got to find that 0.5 at this moment in time. Then onto the midfield, and the midfield is stacked. Let's be honest, I've got rid of Mo Salah. Well, I never had him to begin with, so I didn't have to get rid of him. But you tell me whether these guys are going to keep up with Mo Salah every week. Because I think they will. Let's start with Saka. Like, lots of people are sitting there and go, why have you got Saka Game Week 1 against Man United not be good? This dude has looked electric. He's looked back to the Saka of old in pre-season. It makes a lot of sense to get him into the lineup. I'm quite happy with him. 17.1% ownership currently speaking when I put this graphic together. He just screams value. When he returns, I'm going to be getting not max value, but a lot of value from it. And he's got Leeds next week at home. Captaincy in Game Week 2, locked. Game Week 3, I'm not too concerned about. Yes, there are some 4 difficult fixtures in the first 8 games, a bit like Man United. But outside of that, he looks good. I don't have to worry about bringing him in Game Week 7 when everyone's going to be bringing him in because Arsenal go on a mad run. I've already got him in the team. And I really like him for captaincy in Game Week 2. So for that reason, I think I'm just going to start with him. Some people said, why don't you start with Salah, then go to Saka in Game Week 2? Well, Salah could blank in Game Week 1, and then I have to waste a transfer on something. And there's no reason why Saka can't go to Man United and get a return on Sunday. Like, I'm being a Man United fan as well. I don't see any world where he can't do well there. Then we got Cole Palmer. Now, he's the most owned asset in the game currently. And I think for good reason. There's so many avenues to points. That Chelsea team, I still think that they are the team to watch out for in the Premier League this season. I think they can win it. I honestly believe that they can win it this year. Cole Palmer looks incredible. He's got assists. He's got the goal threat. He's on penalties. He's on a lot of set pieces. And to be honest, they've upgraded their forward line. So I think that means that he'll probably get more returns. That's the way I look at it. Now, Wirtz is in here. And Wirtz could become Gakpo. I've been toying with Gakpo and Wirtz all week. If I go with Gakpo, I've got an extra million that I can then put into the defense, which could be key. It could be an extra 0.5 onto like the Kuiper, Joof, Gehi or Dorgu, becomes Collins. Then all of a sudden, I've got 0.5 spare. If I want to get a 7.5 million forward, or I want to do something else and someone goes up in price, I'm quite happy taking 0.5 in. So he's the one most at risk at the moment of not making the final draft because of the fact I think Gakpo is going to be really good. But Wirtz looked really good on Sunday, and for that reason, I brought him back in, especially taking Foden out for Reindeers. And I believe in the Reindeer. He's going to be pulling the D-unit sleigh, hopefully up the ranking boards. And I'm going to be starting him. Look, I'm happy to take one little punt on the Pep Roulette bandwagon. And I'm hoping he gets good games. And I'm hoping when he doesn't, he just doesn't start. That'd be nice. Pep does have a habit of doing that with certain players. So if he's not playing, hopefully he just gets left on the bench. But I'm happy to take that risk. He got a goal every 3 games in Serie A last year for AC Milan. I've referenced that. I've researched that. And I just think he's going to be great for Man City. So he was an easy pick, and he's way better and more exciting to have in my team than like an Anderson or an Ndiaye or a Kudus or whatever you want to call it. That just screams there's a ceiling there the others just do not have. And then we got my man, Bruno Fernandes. What a man. I love him. It's great to have a Man United player in that I expect to do well. I do expect Bruno to be the top scoring player in FPL this year. There's no reason why he can't be. He's got Mbumo, he's got Cunha, he's got Šeško, he's got Ahmad, he's got Dorgu, all in and around him, spraying passes them. If he doesn't get at least 12 assists, I honestly think he could push 20 assists this year. He could definitely win the assist award in the Premier League. He's just got such good assets around him. If they all click, if they all finish like they did last year, I think Bruno's a no-brainer. And he's also a DC superhero in that role when he's been playing there in pre-season and about 40% of games last year. So he's been really good, and I love the fact that he's in my team this year. And then the forward line. Now, a lot of people are going with Mark Gehi. Like, how many times do you really want to be playing that man? Or Cruype Jr. or whatever it is? I believe, and this is why I've gone with Reindeers, right? And why I've gone no Salah, why I've gone no Haaland. I do intend on a lot of weeks of playing a 3-4-3. And that means that Reindeers will drop to the bench. And I have Saka, Palmer, Wirtz, Bruno, Bowen, Watkins, and Valentin. Now, game week 1, Valentin's away at Liverpool. He's an easy first sub in that game. But other than that, what a forward line. Watkins, probably the best forward to own in game week 1, I would argue, by a country mile. He's outscored Haaland in the last 2 seasons, so he's great there. We've got Jared Bowen, who is the talisman of West Ham. The dude is so consistent. 12 goals, 11 assists last year, 23 attacking returns in midfield. He'll be better for bonus when he gets all those returns as a forward. And look, he literally scores or is involved in 50% of West Ham's goals. Like, what more do you want? 8 million. It's almost like the easiest 8 million pick in the game. Watkins at 9 million, just as easy, really. Like, who else is going to be playing up there in the forward line for Aston Villa to begin the season? I don't think anyone. Yes, there's worries about Kusund or whatever. I don't think he's taken minutes off Watkins. And Watkins has even said it's been the best preseason of his life. Then we go to Valentin, and I expect him to hit the ground running. Bournemouth haven't sold any attackers. They've only sold the defenders. There's no reason why he can't be great, fantastic value as well. So that's the team. Obviously, at the moment, I have got the captaincy on Jared Bowen. That is the best fixture on paper, the Sunderland away. We don't know how they're going to go. They could beat West Ham. West Ham could thump them. We do not know, but I know that Jared Bowen's been in form during the preseason, and that counts for something. So has Ollie Watkins. He's been in form during preseason. These things count for something. So for that reason, that's where the captaincy is at the moment. Cole Palmer's got the vice captaincy on him. I've even toyed with putting the vice captaincy on Bruno for game week 1. Because I really feel like Man United are going to get a result against Arsenal. I think Bruno gets a return on Sunday. It's just a matter of how big. So yeah, that is the team. My game week 1 team, as things stand, that will go into the deadline as that. And my best recommendation to anyone, if you've done your team, you're happy with it, make sure you've locked it in, because the FPL website's been going up and down, and you don't want to be waiting till the last 5 minutes before you do your teams and confirm them. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you join the league code as well. It is on the screen throughout this entire video. But yeah, that is my team selection. I'm expecting good points. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the game to get going. I'm excited for Friday night and the deadline stream and hanging out with all you wonderful people that join in. So that brings me to the end of my very first ever Game Week 1 team selection. Last year, I didn't do a team selection, I think, until about Game Weeks 3, 4, or 5 or something like that. This is my very first ever Game Week 1 team selection. To everyone that has subscribed over the course of preseason, I hope you have enjoyed the content. Hopefully, I've given a fresh perspective. I've put my personality into it. I've put my time into it. And hopefully, you reap the benefits of all the work I've been putting in. Hopefully, you've enjoyed it. I am the place to be this year. The deadline streams on my stream, on my channel, will be the best you've seen. I can guarantee it. I will bring the entertainment and I'll bring the knowledge as well. My football knowledge is second to none, I like to think anyway. And then we have the live watch-alongs. They are coming back. We're getting guests on the show. Something to be exciting. And if you are watching this right now, I'm also on FPL Have a Beers pubcast on his channel later today, 6 p.m. UK time. Watch out for that. I'm going to be taking the piss out of Tottenham fans when they get spanked by PSG as well and telling you why you should be avoiding them completely. That's been the D Unit. I'll see you again tomorrow for the late mail before the deadline stream on Friday night.